Since I posted my video, the Radio DJ's Guide to Making Videos, which, by the way, if you missed, I'll put a link in the description below the video, and then another one at the end of the video so you can check that out as well. But since I posted that, I've had a lot of different radio people and just people in entertainment in general ask me about, well, I watched your video and I got some good tips and it was helpful, but you know, what kind of setup do you use? What kind of camera do you use? What kind of software do you use? How do you film it? Do you do lights, or how do you do all that stuff? So I'm going to try to cover a little bit more of that today and show you exactly how I film these videos and get the look that you're seeing right now. First thing is my camera. I'm using a Canon Rebel T1i with a 1.8 50mm prime lens. 1.8, I believe, is the minimum or maximum, I forget, aperture that the camera can achieve, which is one of the exposure settings, which you need to know about exposure. So what I did, again, in the description, I found a couple really, really good videos from another guy on YouTube who explains, excuse me, how exposure works, what shutter speed is, aperture is, and all the stuff you need to know exactly how that works so you can set your camera. Unfortunately for mine, it's auto, so what I kind of had to do is trick it and find the perfect setting and then click like the set button for all the exposure and just hope that it turns out good. So hopefully this doesn't look too blown out. Lighting with videos is really tricky, so I'm having a hard time getting a perfect image. This is about as close as I can get with the ghetto setup that I'm about to show you. A prime lens like the one I'm using right now, a 50mm prime lens, means there's no zoom on the camera. So you'll see here in a second, this camera's actually really far away. I mean, I'm not even near the camera. It's probably a good, I don't know, maybe 7 feet away. I'll show you here in a second. So it makes it a little bit trickier to get some shots, but what you end up getting is this short depth of field. And what that means is that the forefront, the focus of your camera, which is me, is in focus, and the stuff behind you is normally out of focus. It kind of separates the foreground, me, from the background, which kind of gives you that cool, like, professional photography look. Second thing I'm doing for my audio is I'm just using my cell phone. It's sitting right here. I have an app called Smart Voice Recorder. I just set it down right in front of me and record the audio. And then when I'm editing my video I use PowerDirector 12, I'll just layer the audio from my phone under the video, make sure they match up with time, and then just use that audio instead of the video because the camera's so far away and microphones on cameras always sound like crap. The only thing with these apps is make sure you go through the settings and set the volume and recording levels because they can be a little goofy and it's kind of hard to get that exact right level. Now I'm going to turn around the camera and show you exactly what I'm looking at when I sit here. So these lights that you're seeing, I bought these at Lowe's. They're just those crappy tin construction lights. They're like 12 bucks. And then the bulbs inside are 5000K CFL bulbs. I don't know what CFL stands for. It's just those spirally bulbs. But 5000K is the color temperature. And I believe 6000K, and the K stands for Kelvin, which is a unit of color. 6000K is direct sunlight. And usually in an office setting, the lights are between 2500 and 3000, which gives you that orange look. So it's really hard in here to kind of balance that look to get these lights to work with the lights above me, which are terrible. So I try to sit relatively close to these. And then now you can kind of see how far away the camera is from me. It's a good, like I said, 7-8 feet away. But I found this is the best setup for this room that we have. There's not a whole lot of options in my cubicle. It's not really an office, it's just a cubicle. But this setup tends to work okay for me. What I'll do once I'm done filming and I upload the video and the audio and all the camera shots to PowerDirector is I'll do some color correction. Like you see how good like my eyes look and like the color behind me, how bright and everything is. Here's what it looks like when I just film it without any effects. You see the difference? How it's a little bit more gray and it's not quite as vibrant and it doesn't pop. What I'll do is I'll go into PowerDirector and I'll use a couple of color correction tools. There's one, it's called, I don't know, vibrancy or something. Mess with the brightness, the contrast, you can increase or decrease the amount of color. Just try to get that look somewhere where it looks like real life. A lot of times people on YouTube, they'll do a little bit more than that and they're really bright and really white. And that's the look I'm going for, but it's kind of hard to do that and not have it look blown out like this might look a little bit. The reason it looks so gray too when we went back a second ago to look at the regular camera without the effects is I shoot in a neutral color setting, which basically means it kind of dumbs down the color a little bit because you can always fix it in post. But if you film and there's too much color, if the color's too vibrant or too bright, there's not a whole lot you can do. So just all the videos I've seen on YouTube, they say to film in neutral and then color correct it afterwards. So that's a little behind the scenes of my setup here. It's nothing fancy. This is pretty ghetto. I mean, the camera, this is my girlfriend's camera. We've had this camera probably, I think she's had it like 6 years. It's nothing new. The lens that I bought, which I highly recommend getting a better lens than your kit lens that comes with the camera. The 1.8 50mm prime lens was like $125. I got it at a photography store right down the road here in Seattle. Great store, and it's an awesome lens. I really like it. These lights were like $12 each. The bulbs, I think, were like $25 for 4 of them. So I spent about $50 on lights. And if you're going to buy one of these cameras brand new, the Canon Rebel series, you're looking at a minimum of $500. The reason I use PowerDirector 12, it's not for sure, it's not the best editing software you can get. That's probably going to be Apple's Final Cut Pro or Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere Pro. But PowerDirector is around like $100, and I like it too. It's just easy to line things up. It'll automatically match your audio and video tracks. Like I said, if you record your audio and video separately, it'll match it for you automatically, so you don't get that weird delay on your lips when you're talking. It's pretty easy to learn. Like if you've ever used Adobe Audition to edit audio, it's kind of the same thing. It's more or less, you know, just the same thing. Different buttons do different things. But at the end of the day, if you can do that, you can figure this out, especially simple edits and basic color correction and matching up your audio and video. So I hope that helps you guys out with a little bit more understanding of how I shoot these videos. If you got questions, you can leave a comment below, or my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are all in the description. Just click me, follow me, I'll check you out, I'll answer you back. And also do me a favor too, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I've really been hustling a lot to get more views on my YouTube channel and get these videos out there so I can help people, because there's been a ton of people on YouTube who have helped me. That's my setup. I'll see you guys later. Like MTV Cribs. Bye.